Okay, let's dive in. Imagine this.
Uh,
You're standing surrounded by these just incredible vertical walls, sheer cliffs, really pale rock shooting straight up into the sky, just these really distinctive sculpted shapes.
mm-hmm.
That's the Dolomites. And there's a very good reason they're a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Oh, absolutely. It's a truly breathtaking landscape in the northern Italian Alps. And, those peaks, I think they're 18, over 3,000 meters. They hold such an amazing geological history.
Right. And knowing a bit about that, it just adds another layer when you're actually there, doesn't it?
It really does. Enhances the whole experience.
So I know a lot of you listening are probably dreaming of that perfect Italian trip, maybe specifically wanting to see these mountains. So our mission today really is to map out what a fantastic first time, say, 5-day trip to the Dolomites could look like.
Yeah, we've looked at some great material, and we think we can pull together a really compelling starting point, something to get you inspired, maybe get that planning started.
Exactly. A solid plan to kick things off. We'll think about, getting there, finding a good spot to maybe base yourself initially.
And then, crucially, how to spend those 5 days to really soak it all in, the real essence of the Dolomites.
Okay, step 1, arrival.
Yeah.
Getting there. It seems like flying into a nearby city is the common way to start, like Venice, or maybe even Innsbruck.
That's right. Venice, Innsbruck, maybe Verona, or even Milan, depending on flight deals and your overall plans. But yeah, those are the usual gateways.
And then from there, because these are mountains.
Exactly. The next step often involves getting some wheels. Renting a car is pretty highly recommended for the Dolomites themselves.
Right. Italy has that amazing train system elsewhere, connecting places like Milan and Venice super easily, but maybe not so much within the Dolomites.
Precisely. Trains are fantastic for city-to-city travel across Italy, but once you're in the Dolomites, with all those winding valleys and mountain roads, a car just offers so much more freedom, to reach trailheads, explore smaller villages, stop whenever you see an amazing view.
That makes sense. That trade-off between train convenience and car flexibility seems like the car wins out here for really exploring.
For this specific region, I'd say yes. It unlocks a lot more possibility.
Okay, so we've flown in, picked up our car. Where do we head first? What's a good initial base? Bolzano came up.
Bolzano is a really strong contender, yeah. It's right there, nestled in the Alps, a decent-sized city with good amenities, restaurants, places to stay.
Sort of a gateway.
Exactly. It acts as a natural gateway to a lot of the western and central Dolomites. Of course, you could stay in a smaller village right away, get that immediate mountain feel.
What do you think is better for a first-timer? The city buzz or the quiet village?
For a first visit, Bolzano maybe offers a slightly easier transition. You've got the infrastructure, you can ease into it, maybe pick up supplies if you need them. It's a good balance, I think.
Okay, I like that. So we arrive in Bolzano, check in. Day 1 activities. Should we be rushing off to hike immediately? Or take it easy?
I'd lean towards taking it a bit easier on day 1. You've traveled, you've driven. Maybe just settle in. Wander around Bolzano itself. It's a lovely city.
Explore the town.
Yeah, soak up the atmosphere, maybe find a nice piazza, grab a coffee. You'll likely start seeing those incredible peaks looming in the distance anyway. It builds the anticipation,
A little teaser of what's to come.
Precisely. A chance to just adjust, breathe the mountain air.
And importantly, get our first taste of the local food. What should we be looking for in Bolzano? Is it typical Italian?
Well, it's northern Italian, which is already a bit different. And being in Alto Adige or South Tyrol, there's a strong Austrian or Tyrolean influence too, so it's kind of a unique blend.
Okay, so not pizza and pasta necessarily.
You'll find pasta, sure, but think heartier. We saw mentions of things like speck, that amazing smoked cured ham.
Ooh, yes.
Maybe some dumplings or a good barley soup. It's definitely more Alpine-influenced comfort food, you could say. Different from, say, Milanese risotto, though that's also northern Italian. It's very regional.
Speck and barley soup. Sounds perfect after a travel day. Okay, day 2. We're ready to explore.
Heading into Val Gardena. The material really seemed to rave about the scenery there.
Val Gardena is absolutely stunning. It lives up to the hype. The descriptions mention things like the high density of narrow, deep, and long valleys.
Wow. Narrow, deep, and long.
Yeah, it paints a picture, doesn't it? Imagine driving or hiking through these valleys with colossal peaks rising up dramatically on either side. It's incredibly scenic.
So what's the plan for Val Gardena? Just drive through, hike?
I think it's a great day for really immersing yourself in that landscape. Maybe do a shorter, well-marked hike. There are loads of trails leading to fantastic viewpoints. You understand immediately why this place has attracted travelers for so long.
Get those panoramic views.
Exactly. Or even just a leisurely drive, stopping frequently. There are charming villages dotted throughout the valley. Or to say, Santa Cristina, Gardena. Stop, wander, grab a coffee, take photos.
Sounds lovely. What about the culture there? Anything specific to Val Gardena? Yeah, it's quite distinct. You'll hear and see the Latin language.
Latin.
It's an ancient Romance language spoken by a minority in this specific area of the Dolomites. You'll see it on signs, hear it spoken. It gives the valley a really unique cultural identity.
Fascinating.
And there's also a very strong tradition of wood carving in Val Gardena. Really intricate, beautiful work. You'll probably see shops selling amazing carvings.
Latin language and wood carving.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
And food in Val Gardena. What are the must-tries?
More of that delicious, hearty mountain fare. This is prime territory for Canadian.
The dumplings.
Yes. Bread dumplings, often with speck mixed in, sometimes cheese, served in broth, or maybe just with melted butter and Parmesan. So good.
I'm sold.
Also, look for good polenta, maybe served with mushrooms or cheese. And definitely try some local cheeses from the dairies up there. Really flavorful.
Okay, day 3. This feels like a big one. The heart of the Dolomites. Torshima di Lavaredo. Those pictures are just iconic.
They really are. The Tre Cime, or Drazinnen in German, they're probably the most recognizable landmark of the Dolomites. Those sheer, dramatic vertical walls we talked about earlier, that's them.
Just unbelievable looking. What makes them so striking, do you think? Is it just the shape?
It's the shape, the isolation,
Yeah.
how they just jut out like 3 massive fingers or towers,
Yeah.
the pale Dolomite rock against the blue sky or with clouds swirling around. It's just pure drama.
So we get to the Tre Cime area. What's the main thing to do? Hiking, I assume.
Hiking is definitely the main event. There's a classic loop trail around the base of the Tre Cime, the Refugio Locatelli circuit. It's not excessively difficult, maybe 3-4 hours, but the views are just constantly breathtaking.
Okay. Good for most people.
Reasonably fit people, yes. There are options, though. Even shorter walks from the main parking area at Refugio Oronzo offer incredible perspectives, but definitely wear proper hiking shoes.
Right. And be prepared for mountain weather, even in summer.
Absolutely. Always check the forecast. Bring layers, water, sun protection. You're at altitude over 2,300 meters at Refugio Oronzo. Conditions can change fast.
Gotcha. And for photographers, this must be paradise.
Oh, completely. The exceptional natural beauty is an understatement. Every angle, every change in light, it's just endless opportunities for amazing shots. Sunrise and sunset are particularly magical, though harder logistically.
I can imagine. Now, after that hike, we'll be hungry. Lunch options. You mentioned Refugios.
Yes. Eating lunch at one of the mountain huts, the Refugios, is such a quintessential Dolomites experience. There are several along the Tre Cime circuit, like Refugio Locatelli or Refugio Lavaredo.
What's it like?
Imagine sitting on a sunny terrace, maybe with a pasta dish or some polenta, and looking straight at those monumental peaks. It's incredible. Simple, hearty food in an absolutely unbeatable setting. Have you ever eaten in one?
No, but that sounds absolutely amazing. Like truly part of the experience, not just a pit stop.
Exactly. It really is.
Okay, day 4. Another stunner, it seems. Lake Braze. Prague's Wild Sea, the one you see in all the photos with the rowboats.
That's the one. Lake Braze is incredibly beautiful. That emerald green or turquoise water, the dramatic Sikafel Peak reflecting perfectly. It's picture postcard stuff.
Why are mountain lakes like that so captivating? Is it the stillness?
I think so. That sense of tranquility, the reflection, the intense color of the water against the rugged peaks. It's just a magical combination. And Braze is particularly accessible.
So what do we do there? Just admire the view?
You definitely start with that.
Yeah.
But there's a lovely, easy path that goes around the entire lake. Takes about an hour, maybe a bit more with photo stops.
Yeah.
And yes, you can rent those classic wooden rowboats. Paddling out onto the lake gives you a totally different perspective. Very serene, very romantic almost.
Sounds like a nice change of pace after the big Tre Cime hike.
It can be, yeah. A bit more relaxed, perhaps.
Now we're packing a lot in. Is day 4 interchangeable? Like if the weather's bad at Braze, could we swap in something else?
Oh, definitely. This is just a template, right? The Dolomites are packed with gorgeous spots. If Braze is socked in with fog, or maybe you preferred a longer hike the day before and want another one, you could easily visit a different lake like Lago di Misurina, or explore another valley like Val di Funes. Flexibility is key.
Good point. And food near Lake Braze. Anything special?
There's a historic hotel right on the lake. and a few other spots nearby. Given it's a lake, you might find local trout on the menu. That would be a great regional choice. Otherwise, standard, delicious Alto Adige fare.
Perfect. Okay, day 5. Reality bites. Time to think about leaving. So this day is mostly about the journey out.
Pretty much. It's about the logistics of heading back towards your departure airport, whether that's Venice, Innsbruck, wherever, or maybe moving on to the next leg of your Italian adventure.
Like heading down towards Venice proper, perhaps.
Exactly. So you need to factor in the driving time, but it doesn't have to be just driving.
So maybe some last-minute sightseeing on the way.
For sure. Depending on your route, you might drive through other scenic areas or charming towns. If you are heading towards Venice, you pass through the Prosecco region, for example. Or you could make a slight detour. It's a chance for one last dose of Italian beauty.
A little bonus exploration. Nice.
Maybe even inspires the next trip, seeing somewhere intriguing along the way.
Good point. And, naturally, one final Dolomites meal before we hit the autostrada. Any recommendations for a farewell lunch?
I'd say try and find somewhere that really embodies that regional cooking. Maybe revisit a favorite dish you discovered, like those canederli.
Yes, please.
Or seek out something you haven't tried yet, perhaps a specific local cheese platter. Or if you see game on the menu, like venison stew, go for a final, memorable taste of the mountains.
Sounds like a plan.
Oh.
Okay, let's zoom out a bit. We've mentioned specific dishes, but overall, how would you describe the food vibe in the Dolomites?
It's definitely hearty, satisfying. It's food designed for people living and working in a mountain environment, warming, sustaining.
And that mix of influences we talked about, Italian and Austrian.
Yes, you really feel that blend. Some dishes feel quite Italian pastas, risotto maybe. Others lean more towards Austria or Tyrol, the dumplings, the use of speck, certain types of bread or pastries. It creates a really unique culinary landscape.
So key things people absolutely must try if they only eat a few things.
Okay, must tries. Definitely speck.
Right.
Canederli, in broth or with butter.
Got it.
Some form of polenta, maybe with mushrooms or cheese. And sample the local cheeses. Ask for recommendations.
Good call. What about drinks? Any local specialties besides the usual Italian wine?
Well, the wines from Trentino Alto Adige are excellent and very much worth trying. Crisp whites like Pinot Grigio, Gewürztraminer, and some lovely light reds like Schiava or more robust ones like Lagrange. Definitely explore the local wine list.
Okay, excellent advice. Now, thinking practically for someone planning this first trip, when is the best time to go? We want good weather, presumably.
Yeah, good weather makes a big difference, especially for hiking. Based on general patterns and mentions of, June being nice elsewhere, the sweet spots for the Dolomites tend to be late spring, say June.
Before it gets too hot or crowded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or early autumn, September into early October. Usually you get pleasant temperatures, clearer skies, maybe fewer people than peak July, August. And the autumn colors can be stunning too.
Nice. Accommodation hotels, guest houses. You mentioned refugios too. Need to book ahead.
Definitely book ahead, especially for June, July, August, September. Things get busy. You've got a good range. Hotels in the towns, smaller family-run guest houses, Garni, apartments. And yes, the refugios in the mountains if you're doing multi-day treks or just want that high-altitude experience for a night.
And transport within the Dolomites, we landed on car being best.
For maximum flexibility, yes, a car is ideal. It lets you get to trailheads easily, hop between valleys, stop spontaneously. There are public buses connecting towns, and they're pretty good in season, but they might not reach everywhere you want to go or run as frequently as you'd like.
Okay. And packing essentials. We mentioned layers and hiking shoes.
Those are top of the list. Layers are non-negotiable base layer, fleece, waterproof, windproof jacket, good broken-in hiking boots or sturdy walking shoes. Sunscreen is crucial. Even on cloudy days, the altitude makes the sun strong. Sunglasses, a hat.
Basic mountain preparedness.
Exactly. And maybe some basic first aid stuff, plenty of water for hikes, snacks.
Yeah.
The usual hiking essentials.
Perfect. Okay, wow. This has really painted a picture. Let's just quickly recap that 5-day whirlwind. Start in Bolzano, ease in. Day 2, explore the stunning Val Gardena, maybe try some canederli. Day 3, the big one, hiking around the iconic Tre Cime di Lavaredo, maybe lunch at a refugio.
The highlight for many.
Day 4, the serene beauty of Lake Braze, walk around, maybe rent a boat.
A more relaxed day, perhaps.
And day 5, logistics of departure, but maybe squeezing in one last scenic stop and a final delicious regional meal.
Sounds like a plan.
Hopefully listening to this gives you a really solid framework, some real inspiration to start planning your own trip. Those sublime, monumental, colorful landscapes are waiting.
Absolutely. We really hope this deep dive has sparked something, made you think, yeah, I need to see that. Maybe now you can start looking into specific trails that sound cool, or check out photos of different valleys to see what grabs you most. What part of this sounds the most appealing to you right now?
Yeah, focus on that. Is it the epic hiking? The charming villages? The unique food? Let whatever excites you most guide your detailed planning.
And maybe think about this as you plan. These mountains, they've been drawing people in for ages. What is it about this specific kind of monumental beauty that has such a pull? What do you think your unforgettable moment in the Dolomites will be?
you.